Hello, my friend. Happy Monday. I am excited. I am going to make sure that I am live because last time that didn't happen. But I'm excited to talk today because how many of us can do better with our mindset? What's your superpower? I feel like mine is mindset. Not that I was born that way, but it is definitely something that I've worked on. Good thing I checked. It was not on public. All right, if you're hopping on, I want to know. Say hey. I'm using my little StreamYard today, even though it's just me, no interview, because, well, frankly, because the last time it didn't really work that great. So I'm double checking a few things, so it looks official today, but it's just me. But I'm excited, so I have some notes and I want to share. If you're popping on, please grant StreamYard okay, so that it doesn't say user. Because I want to know where you're tuning in from. I want to know what you struggle with. How many of you guys have felt like you have been put through the ringer with mindset this last year? And the mindset's like a fancy word, but how many of you guys felt like, be honest, it's mentally tough this year? Yes? Yes. And even though I feel like that's my superpower with mindset, I want to chat about it. I want to get to it. I want to get through it. And then I got something exciting to share at the end. So bear with me. All right. So how many of you guys feel like, yes, we've had the kids home. We've had this. I feel like this has been one of the hardest years of my life, not even counting COVID, like not even counting everything going on. So I really wanted to talk today because I feel like I have 3 things that can really, really help you with your mental toughness, your grit. Recently, I had to ask a bunch of people, like, hey, what do you think I'm really good at? Every single one of them said, oh, you're so gritty. You're like, whatever you set your mind to. And that's a large part true. And then I thought, gosh, I don't feel like that. Why not? Because it's been an area that I've worked on. So just know if you feel like you're like, whatever, I'm not the greatest at this, just know that you can master it. So starting today with these 3 things, and I'm super excited. I put one of these in a TikTok or a reel, and I had so many people reaching out. They're like, yes, either they gravitated toward it because it's positive on freaking social media, or they related because that's what they stand for and they identify with another person that's positive. All right. So the first thing is you got to evaluate. You got to evaluate what you're putting into your mind. So many of us, it seems so simple, but honestly, how many of you guys have done a check to evaluate what you are inputting into your mind? Hey guys, I see you popping on. Please say hey, join in the conversation because I really want to know. How many of you guys have felt like if you evaluated what was going on with around you, when you feel like things are negative, there's a reason why. Either you're paying too much attention to people around you that are negative, maybe it's coworkers and there's not a lot you can do about it. Maybe you're tuned into the news because we all know it's like mostly negative. I'm not saying don't watch the news or like dump your coworkers or your friends. I'm just saying like be careful with it, right? What are you filling yourself with? A big one that I want to kind of tap into today a little bit is what are you speaking to yourself, right? And this has been a big one for me. I can tell you I've not always been this way. Now, I want to know if you guys are an athlete. I want to know. Drop it down. Say hey. Say yes, I played a sport. If you did, what sport did you play? I played tennis. I played tennis all the way through college and beyond. And I went into fitness profession, right? So this is a mindset. So how many of you guys athletes, let me know, how many of you guys feel like you would not have made it as far as you did if you did not have that mental toughness, that mental capacity, right? If you've played any sort of sport or anything really that you have to persevere at, you learn that, yeah, you have to learn the skills, but more importantly, you have to get mentally tough for that sport. Why? Because there's going to be all kinds of things that are going to come against you and you have to know how to deal with it. So for me, I'm really emotional person. Like, if you can't tell, I tend to wear my heart on my sleeve. That can be a good thing, right? I've got the gift of gab. I connect with people. I'm passionate about what I do. The bad side of that is sometimes I can go into a negative self-talk really fast. And I learned at a really young age as an athlete, skills to help me get out or evaluate when I was doing that. So, the habits that you're setting in. So what habits, when you're evaluating this, if you stepped into that got you spiraling out of control, right? So I want to know if you guys can relate to this. Either, yes, I'm an athlete and I feel like I developed that, right? Maybe this is just a good reminder for you, or no, you're like, no, but I do identify with the fact that sometimes I just feel like one thought and everything starts to spiral, right? How many of us can relate to that? If you're watching this on the replay, say, hey, if you're new to me, I'm Emily Smiley. I really love talking about mindset. Why? Because mastering your mindset is so key for everything. Those that I help like try to lose weight. If you lose weight, but you still identify as a person that's morbidly or obese, it does not serve you. If you are running a business and you don't believe or have confidence in yourself, and you master that mindset, it doesn't work. That's why mastering your mindset on anything regarding anything that you do is so important. You've got to evaluate. Hey guys, thanks for popping on. Say hey, let me know where you're tuning in from. So the first one is to evaluate. What is it? And pay attention to how you feel. You've got to take inventory, right? I'm such a teacher. It's like, what's working? What's not working? Are you feeling bad about yourself after you get off social media? Are you feeling super negative after you've tuned into the news? It is a certain friend that maybe you spend too much time with. Maybe it's coworkers. Who knows what the gamut is, right? Maybe you're your own worst enemy. And a lot of times this is how people feel. How do you start your day? So number 2, I want to talk about after you've, let's say, oh, thanks for the love, guys. Let's say you've taken inventory, you've gotten certain areas. What are you inputting? Okay. So the second one is, what seeds are you sowing? You guys, it's not rocket science. You might be going, oh my God, these are so simple, Em. I don't know what you're talking about. But evaluate, are you doing them? And I say this as I talk to myself because I caught myself this past year spiraling, like we just talked about, into this negative self-talk, this negative, what am I filling my brain with? What am I focusing on? Because we know, right? We've heard the expression, what you focus on expands. If you are focused on negative, you are going to feel negative. If you are focused on depressing, you may feel that. If you're focused on positive and filling up with positive things, it does make you feel better. That's why I said these 3 things, and remembering these can literally help you feel happier because you're tapping into and expanding and focusing on the good instead of the bad. So number 2, input. What are you sowing in? I am a huge, and if you've seen any of my TikToks or Reels, on affirmations. What are you saying to yourself? Now, I started these with my kids. It was easier for me to start it with my kids than it was for myself. How many of you guys can relate? Hello, mamas. We feed our kids healthy food, but we don't. We give our kids this, but we don't. We don't let them eat this, but then we will, right? It happens. But what I found was I needed to say and get specific on what I needed to speak over myself. So yes, what news are you paying attention to? Yes, you need to get around more positive people. Yet, whatever it is in any area that you are wanting to get better at, go find someone mentally better at it than you. If it's business, go find a business mentor. If it's, getting in shape, go get a personal trainer. If whatever it is, you've got to input because they're going to rub off on you. But more importantly are your thoughts, right? And that's what I want to dig into a little bit. Why affirmations? Because if someone else is telling you that you can do it, but you don't believe it in yourself, that will only take you so far. If I have a client and I'm helping them lose weight, but they don't believe that they can, I can tell them, you can do it. But eventually they have to take over and believe it themselves. So if you've got an area in your life that you feel like you are mentally struggling with, you are just, I hate Mondays, or I hate my job, or I'm never going to get in shape, or I can never make it at this business, or whatever it is. I'm a terrible parent. My kids are never going to change, right? Take that evaluation. Are you blaming them instead of you? And then the second is, what are you inputting? What are you speaking over them? I think we as a society underestimate the value of our words and what we're speaking. You've got to speak life into those kids. You've got to speak life into that business. You've got to speak life over your health. It's probably the number 1 important thing that fires me up, in case you can't tell, because I freaking love affirmations. You've got to say, I am powerful. I am worthy. I am fit. I am thin. I am sexy. Whatever you got to tell yourself. I am, a badass entrepreneur. I am whatever the case may be, you've got to speak it to yourself. Yes. Hey, Ray, thanks for hopping on. So what area in your life, if you want to drop it in, you can. Otherwise, just get it into your mind. What area do you need to get better at speaking to yourself? Because I'm really good at certain areas. And then I got to be honest with you guys, there's certain areas where I'm just like, oh, not so good. So what are you inputting? And sometimes it literally takes you picking yourself up and transplanting yourself, right? So what seeds are you sowing? But sometimes you've got to move people. Sometimes you've got to move media. Sometimes you've got to move affirmations, and you've got to get very specific on it. And the last one I really want to share with you guys is to encourage. You could also call this reevaluate. You could also call this fill your cup, right? We've all heard that, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you want to overflow with positivity, if you want to overflow with abundance, if you want to overflow in your health, if you want to overflow in your finances, if you want to overflow in your relationships, in your parenting, in your business, and whatever the case may be, you've got to take inventory daily. What has snuck back in? Maybe it's your diet and you've allowed it to slip. I've been there this last year. Maybe it's your workouts if that's your area. Maybe it's your business that you've let it slip and you're not crushing it like you were and you're not as committed. Maybe it's you've been tuning into too much media or too much news and things have gotten negative and now you've caught yourself feeling negative, right? A lot of people feel that way about social media. Now, I don't. I love social media. If we'd had the last year that we had 10 years ago, there's no way we could have connected with people virtually. So personally, I'm choosing to connect with people that are like-minded with me, so I don't have as the negative experiences that I think so many feel on social media. But if that's a downer for you, maybe you need to change who you follow or unfollow or block. Done that, right? So pay attention. We say you can't, pour from an empty cup, but fill your cup doesn't mean go get your nails done. Now, maybe it does. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying, when you wake up, what's your morning routine? What are you starting your day with mentally? What are you telling yourself in those affirmations? Because it is really hard to think about yourself when you list 5 or 10 things that you're grateful for. And I tell my kids this all the time. How many of you guys are parents and you do this? You tell your kids, right? Sometimes we need to tell ourselves instead of tell our kids. There is always, 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 always something to be grateful for. And when you're focused on what you're grateful for, it's really hard to live in the negative world. Am I right? So it's so important to refill your cup. You take a shower every day so you stay clean. So why do we expect our mental capacity to be any different? We've got to feed it continually with the things that we want to make it stretch and learn and grow and develop and get that grittiness that you want, get that mental toughness that you want. Maybe you just need more tools in your toolbox. So if you're like, hey, Em, I totally hear you. I'm struggling in this area. I really want to get better. I would say how you start and end your day matters the most. Now, a lot of times we're not in control of the middle of it, but we are absolutely in control of the beginning and we are absolutely in control of the end. And if you are waking up and you are telling yourself, I am worthy, I am happy, I am thankful, and you're listing those things that you're grateful for, and you're focusing on those things that you want to move forward and develop, and you're speaking life into your kids and your family and your business and your health and your finances and all the things, then I don't have time in my brain. I literally don't have the mental capacity to think about anything else. So I wanted to share that today because I feel like somebody needs to hear that somewhere that this is going. So if this resonates with you, please let me know. Drop a heart, give me some love, share it out, whatever. I feel like somebody needed to hear this today. If you are struggling with your mental capacity, like mentalness meaning like you just feel like you're not as tough there as you want to be. You want to be more positive. You want to be tougher in whatever area or maybe just overall. I want you to apply all 3 of these and tell me how it goes. I'm such a teacher. I want to know. Don't just take this, don't just watch and ghost me. Come back and say, hey, I want you to know that I applied these and they mattered. I took inventory, I evaluated, and I determined that this was really sucking me dry over here and I had to change it. And I started inputting that hole and filling it with somebody different or something different. And I'm choosing to wake up with an attitude of gratitude and speaking life and affirmations over myself. And I'm telling you guys, watch it change your flipping life. It will change your life. I look at my kids and I'm like, dang, I've been doing affirmations. How many of you guys just sometimes, I'm just saying, sometimes maybe as a parent, maybe in your health, maybe in your business, you look and you're like, dang, I did that pretty good. We're so hard on ourselves. But I look at my kids and I'm like, I hear them say their affirmations. I watch them start their day with their journal and their gratitude. And that's a proud mama right there, let me tell you, because that's going to change their life. And I'm already watching it and watching them grow. And I encourage you to do the same. Take these, if they're reminders, great. Take a re-inventory of it and let me know how it goes, because I'm telling you guys, you want to master your life, you master your mind. You want to master an area in your life, you want to get tougher in an area, you literally have to get serious on that mastery. So I'm super excited. Thanks for letting me stream this officially to you guys. If you like this kind of content, I have a business page if you want to tune in. I'm also streaming this on my YouTube, so go subscribe, turn the notifications on. I am excited. Next Monday, I am having Amber Parker on. We're doing another Made for More Monday. These are my favorite, you guys, because I am passionate about connecting with other mamapreneurs, entrepreneurs, and getting their message out there and helping their business grow. And she wrote a book. It's called Finding Simplicity. And it says, even though our circumstances seem smooth, a look at the world around us reveals problems and the chaos. We are longing for a simpler life. Yes, that goes with today's message. So if you guys want to, I just got this. I'm just starting to read it. I got this on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. She's going to be on with me next Monday at 5 p.m. my time, Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern for my Eastern Coast friends. You do not want to miss it. Turn your notifications on. It will go to everywhere that you're seeing this now. Wherever you are, it will be there. But turn your notifications on because I'm excited. We're going to give away a free book. But if you want to read it before, you want to tune in because she's going to give her tips for finding simplicity. And basically give you the cliff notes of this book. So I'm excited to chat with her. I'm excited to hear about her book writing, her entrepreneurship. So, all right, that's all I got for today, you guys. That's it. Please be blessed. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.